The depth of President Reagan's commitment to his values and his persistence in advocating them can best be understood by reading Peter Schweitzer's book, Reagan's War. Schweitzer noted that Reagan had concluded communism was evil in 1947. It was only 35 years later, in 1982, that he was in a position to give his famous Evil Empire speech. President Reagan first called for tearing down the Berlin Wall in May 1967 in a televised debate with Robert Kennedy. 2 decades later, in 1987, he came back as president and made his famous challenge. 2 years later, the Berlin Wall was torn down by the German people. By insisting on politics as history, President Reagan achieved historic goals that virtually no one could have predicted in 1980. For our generation to be successful, we need a similar grassroots movement that demands profound change to defeat fundamental threats to our way of life. This movement has to be focused on values, on solutions, and on telling the truth even when it is controversial. The purpose of this book is to outline the case for such a movement, a 21st century contract with America. The first contract with America. The first contract with America in 1994 was a remarkable tool for political and governmental change. Led by the contract, the Republican Party had its biggest congressional victory since before the Great Depression. The results of November 1994 were not only stunning to most observers, almost none of whom expected a Republican majority even on Election Day, but was also a tidal wave of historic proportions. The Republican vote increased by 9 million from 1990 to 1994, while the Democratic vote declined by 1 million.